Stoicism was never meant to make life easy. It was designed to make you unbreakable. The world won't be fair. Pain won't ask for permission. And waiting for perfect conditions is how people stay weak. The Stoics knew this. They trained their minds in discomfort, not comfort. So when life hit hard, they didn't collapse. And the first rule of becoming mentally invincible starts here. Learning to embrace discomfort as an ally, not an enemy. Most people spend their entire lives running from discomfort. They avoid hunger, cold, silence, boredom, and effort, as if these things were enemies. The Stoics saw it differently. To them, discomfort was not punishment, it was training. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The obstacle on the path becomes the path." That means the very thing you wish away is often the exact thing shaping your strength. When you avoid discomfort, you don't stay the same. You become weaker. Your tolerance shrinks. Your mind softens. Life doesn't get easier, but you become less prepared. Discomfort works like a mental gym. A cold shower teaches you that panic passes. Fasting teaches you that hunger doesn't control you. Silence teaches you that you don't need constant stimulation to survive. Each small, voluntary hardship rewires your nervous system. You learn, at a deep level, I can handle this. The key is voluntary discomfort. The Stoics didn't wait for suffering to arrive. They trained for it. Seneca deliberately slept on the floor and ate simple food, asking himself, "Is this what I used to fear?" By choosing discomfort on his terms, he removed its power over him. This is where modern life weakens us. Comfort is everywhere, always available, and constantly marketed as a right. But comfort without contrast destroys resilience. When difficulty eventually shows up, illness, loss, rejection, failure, the untrained mind panics. The trained mind steadies itself. Embracing discomfort doesn't mean chasing pain or living miserably. It means stopping the reflex to escape. It means staying present when things are unpleasant, instead of numbing yourself. You breathe, you observe, you endure. And in that endurance, confidence is forged. Every time you lean into discomfort instead of fleeing it, you send yourself a powerful message. I am stronger than this moment. That message compounds. Over time, discomfort stops feeling like danger and starts feeling familiar, almost like an old, demanding friend who makes you better. This is why Stoicism creates people who don't break easily. They don't pray for comfort. They prepare for impact. And once you understand that discomfort can be trained, chosen, and mastered, you're ready for the next rule. Learning how to stop emotions from ruling your decisions. The moment you react emotionally, you surrender control. Your words are no longer chosen, they're triggered. Your actions are no longer deliberate, they're impulsive. And in that moment, someone else or something else is driving your life. Epictetus put it simply, anyone who can make you angry becomes your master. Not because anger is evil, but because unexamined emotion removes choice. The Stoics never tried to eliminate emotions. They trained themselves not to obey them. Emotions are information, not commands. Anger tells you a boundary may have been crossed. Fear warns of potential danger. Sadness signals loss. But none of these feelings tell you how to act wisely. That part is your responsibility. Most people collapse these two steps into one. They feel something and immediately act on it. A sharp comment becomes an argument. A delay becomes resentment. A misunderstanding becomes revenge. Life becomes reactive, chaotic, and exhausting. Stoicism inserts a pause. That pause is where freedom lives. When an emotion arises, the Stoic doesn't suppress it or explode with it. They observe it. They name it. They ask, Is this within my control? And most importantly, what response aligns with my values? This is not weakness. It is discipline at the highest level. Anyone can lose control. Anyone can lash out. Anyone can justify their behavior by saying, "I was emotional." Very few people can feel the surge and still choose restraint. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That sentence is not motivational. It is instructional. The world will provoke you. People will disrespect you. Plans will fail. If your inner state depends on these things going your way, you live at the mercy of randomness. But when you stop letting emotions dictate your reactions, something profound happens. You become unpredictable in the best way. You don't give others the satisfaction of controlling you. You don't burn energy on regret. You respond with clarity, not heat. This doesn't mean becoming cold or detached. It means choosing when and how to express emotion instead of being dragged by it. Over time, this practice builds an unshakable inner posture. Calm becomes your default. Pressure becomes manageable. Conflict loses its power over you. And once you stop being ruled by emotion, you're ready for the next, harsher Stoic truth, that life was never meant to be fair, and waiting for fairness only weakens you. One of the fastest ways to become bitter is to expect fairness from life. Not justice, not meaning, fairness. Because fairness is an idea, not a rule of reality. The Stoics understood this deeply. They did not build their strength on how things should be, but on how things are. And reality has never promised equal outcomes, equal effort, or equal reward. When you expect life to be fair, every setback feels personal. Every loss feels like a theft. Every injustice feels like proof that the world is against you. That mindset drains your energy before the real work even begins. Seneca wrote, "Sometimes, even to live is an act of courage." He wasn't being poetic. He was describing the human condition. Loss, illness, betrayal, and randomness are not exceptions. They are part of the contract. Stoicism asks you to accept this without resentment. This doesn't mean becoming passive or submissive. It means refusing to waste your strength arguing with reality. You can acknowledge injustice without letting it define you. You can face hardship without turning it into self-pity. The moment you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is required of me now?" you regain control. Most people stay stuck because they're negotiating with the past. They replay what should have happened. They obsess over who deserved what. But reality does not respond to complaints. It responds only to action. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You can meet any situation in life with calm and integrity. Not because life will cooperate, but because your character can." When you stop expecting fairness, you stop feeling cheated by outcomes. You stop wasting emotional energy on resentment. You stop waiting for validation that may never come. Instead, you focus on your response, your effort, your discipline, your next move. This shift is brutal at first. It removes excuses. It removes comforting stories. It forces you to stand alone with responsibility. But it also gives you something rare: freedom. You no longer need the world to behave properly for you to behave properly. You no longer need circumstances to improve before you improve. You move forward anyway. Stoicism does not promise fairness. It offers something more powerful: the ability to stay steady in an unfair world. And once you accept that life owes you nothing, you're ready for the rule that gives you your power back, learning exactly what you can control and letting go of everything else. Most human suffering comes from one mistake: trying to control what was never ours to control. Epictetus, built the foundation of Stoicism on a single idea. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. Your thoughts, values, choices, and actions, these belong to you. Other people's opinions, outcomes, timing, luck, and circumstances do not. Yet most people reverse this order. They obsess over reputation. They chase approval. They fear outcomes they can't guarantee. And they neglect the one domain where they actually have power: themselves. This constant misallocation of energy creates anxiety. You try to manage reactions you can't predict. You rehearse conversations that may never happen. You worry about results before the work is even done. Your mind stays busy, but nothing truly moves forward. Stoicism cuts through this confusion with ruthless clarity. When you focus only on what you can control, your mental load drops immediately. You stop fighting invisible enemies. You stop measuring yourself by unstable standards. And you begin acting with precision. Control does not mean certainty. You can control effort, not success. You can control honesty, not how it's received. You can control preparation, not the final verdict. Once you accept this, pressure transforms into purpose. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Do what is right. The rest does not matter." This is not indifference, it is discipline. Letting go of what you cannot control is not weakness. It is the highest form of realism. You still care, but you care wisely. This mindset creates resilience. When things go well, you don't become arrogant. When things go badly, you don't collapse. Because your self-worth is no longer tied to unstable outcomes. You become harder to manipulate, harder to distract, harder to break. This is why Stoics appear calm under pressure. They are not emotionally numb. They are simply focused on the correct target. When your energy is fully invested in what is yours to govern, every action becomes cleaner. Every decision becomes lighter. And every setback becomes usable. And once you reclaim this control over your attention, your effort, and your response, you are ready for the next uncomfortable rule, intentionally creating hardship to strengthen your will before life does it for you. Modern life trains us to avoid discomfort at all costs. One click for food, one swipe for pleasure, one excuse to escape effort. But Stoicism teaches something radically different. If you avoid hardship, you become fragile. Seneca warned that comfort is a poor teacher. So he did the unthinkable. Even when wealthy and respected, he slept on the floor, ate the simplest food, and dressed plainly. Not because he had to, but because he chose to. Why would a wise man do this? Because voluntary hardship removes fear. When you occasionally experience hunger by choice, you stop panicking at the thought of scarcity. When you endure cold on purpose, you stop fearing discomfort as if it were danger. When you deny yourself convenience, you realize how little you truly need to function. This is not self-punishment, it is psychological training. Stoics understood that life will eventually test you through loss, illness, rejection, or uncertainty. If hardship only arrives unexpectedly, it overwhelms you. But if you've already rehearsed difficulty, your nervous system stays calm when reality hits. Voluntary discomfort builds inner toughness. Cold showers teach you to breathe through resistance. Fasting teaches patience over impulse. Silence teaches you control over your tongue and ego. Simple living teaches gratitude instead of entitlement. Each act sends a message to your mind. I can handle more than I think. And once your mind believes that, fear loses its grip. There is another hidden benefit. When you regularly choose hardship, comfort stops owning you. You enjoy pleasure when it comes, but you no longer depend on it to feel okay. This is freedom. Most people panic when comfort disappears. The Stoic prepares in advance. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to expect difficulty, so that when it arrived, it felt familiar rather than shocking. Hard times didn't break him. They activated the discipline he had already built. Voluntary hardship sharpens your will. It turns resistance into a training partner. And it teaches you that strength is not found in ease, but in the quiet confidence that you can endure. When life eventually applies pressure, and it always does, you won't freeze, complain, or collapse. You will respond. And once your will is strong enough to endure hardship, you reach the next level of Stoic mastery, learning to release obsession with outcomes and fall in love with the process itself. Most people live emotionally attached to outcomes. They tell themselves, "I'll be calm when I win. I'll be confident when I succeed. I'll be happy when things go my way." Stoicism calls this a dangerous mistake. Outcomes are never fully in your control. You can do everything right and still lose. You can prepare perfectly and still be rejected. When your sense of worth depends on results, your inner stability becomes fragile. Marcus Aurelius warned against this trap. He reminded himself to focus on the task in front of him, not the applause, not the reward, not the future. Do the work well. Let the rest unfold. This is not indifference. It is clarity. When you release obsession with outcomes, you stop bargaining with life. You no longer ask, "What will I get if I do this?" You ask, "What does excellence require of me right now?" This shift is powerful. Loving the process means committing to effort without guarantees. It means showing up even when results are delayed. It means acting with integrity even when no one notices. The Stoic measures success by discipline, not by trophies. Ironically, this mindset often produces better results. When you stop forcing outcomes, your actions become cleaner and calmer. You think more clearly under pressure. You recover faster from setbacks. You stop panicking when things don't go your way. By letting go, you gain control. Epictetus made this distinction clear. Your thoughts, choices, and actions belong to you. Fame, profit, praise, and timing do not. Confusing these two categories is what creates anxiety. So the Stoic invests fully in the process, the preparation, the habits, the daily discipline, while emotionally releasing the result. This creates an unshakable inner victory. You can lose without being broken. You can fail without losing self-respect. You can walk away knowing you acted correctly, even if the world didn't reward you. And when results do come, you receive them with gratitude, not desperation. Loving the process also protects you from burnout. If results slow down, you don't quit. If recognition disappears, you don't collapse. Your motivation comes from within, not from external validation. This is why Stoics appear calm in chaos. They are not outcome dependent. They are process driven. Once you stop chasing results, life becomes less threatening and more purposeful. You stop living for the finish line and start living with intention each step of the way. And when you truly release attachment to outcomes, a deeper realization naturally follows. Time is limited, and every step matters. That is why the next Stoic law is unavoidable, remembering death so you can finally live. Most people live as if time is unlimited. They postpone courage. They delay difficult conversations. They tell themselves, "Someday," when things calm down. Stoicism destroys this illusion with one brutal reminder: you will die. Memento mori is not morbid. It is clarifying. Seneca warned that life is not short. We simply waste most of it. Days disappear in distraction, resentment, and fear, while the most important actions are endlessly delayed. Remembering death cuts through this fog. When you truly accept that your time is finite, excuses lose their power. You stop arguing with reality. You stop waiting for perfect conditions that will never arrive. The Stoic does not use death to feel anxious. He uses it to feel awake. Every morning becomes a question. If this were my last day, would this matter? Every decision gains weight. Is this worthy of the limited time I have? This awareness creates urgency, not panic. It sharpens focus. Petty drama loses its grip. Other people's opinions shrink. What once felt overwhelming becomes irrelevant when measured against the certainty of death. Marcus Aurelius wrote reminders to himself. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. This is not about reckless living. It is about intentional living. Remembering death pushes you to act in alignment with your values, to speak honestly, to work deeply, to love without postponement, to stop living on autopilot. It also removes fear of failure. When you know the end is guaranteed, losing becomes less terrifying. Embarrassment loses its sting. Risk feels acceptable, even necessary. What truly becomes frightening is wasting your life on things that do not matter. Memento Mori teaches you to choose depth over noise, meaning over comfort, action over endless preparation. You stop asking, what if it doesn't work? You start asking, what if I never try? This mindset transforms how you experience time. Moments become more vivid. Gratitude becomes natural. Even hardship gains meaning because it is temporary. Death also humbles the ego. No matter how important you feel today, time will erase your titles, your status, your possessions. What remains is the character you built and the impact you had while you were here. This realization doesn't weaken you, it grounds you. When you remember death daily, you stop living casually. You stop drifting. You stop wasting emotional energy on trivial battles. You begin to live as a conscious participant in your own life. And once urgency and purpose are established, a final Stoic shift becomes necessary to act rightly even when no one is watching. That is the mark of true inner strength, and it leads directly to the final law. Most people live for applause. They measure their worth by attention, approval, and praise. But Stoicism asks a far more demanding question. Who are you when no one is watching? A Stoic warrior does not fight for recognition. He fights for virtue. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet reminded himself daily that praise from others was fragile and temporary. What mattered was not how he appeared, but whether his actions aligned with reason, justice, courage, and self-control. When you live for recognition, you become dependent. Your mood rises and falls with opinions you cannot control. Approval becomes a drug, and withdrawal feels like failure. The Stoic refuses this weakness. He understands that virtue is its own reward. Doing the right thing is not a strategy for applause. It is a commitment to inner integrity. This shift is uncomfortable at first. You may work hard and receive no credit. You may act with honor and still be misunderstood. You may choose discipline, while others choose comfort and mock your restraint. But this is where real strength is forged. A warrior for virtue accepts that goodness is often invisible. That justice is quiet. That character grows in solitude, not on stages. Seneca warned that seeking praise places your happiness in the hands of people who do not know you and will never truly understand your effort. The Stoic takes his power back. He measures himself by standards he controls. Did I act honestly today? Did I remain calm under pressure? Did I choose what was right over what was easy? This internal scorecard creates unshakable confidence. When your self-worth is rooted in virtue, you become immune to neglect and criticism. Silence does not threaten you. Being overlooked does not weaken you. You act correctly whether you are praised or ignored. This also changes how you treat others. You no longer compete for validation. You no longer need to prove superiority. You help without keeping score. You lead without demanding loyalty. Your presence becomes steady, grounded, and trustworthy. Ironically, when you stop chasing recognition, respect often follows naturally. But by then, you no longer need it. This is the final evolution of Stoic strength: to do what must be done because it is right, not because it will be seen. To remain disciplined in private, calm under pressure, consistent when no reward is guaranteed. When you become a warrior for virtue, you are no longer controlled by crowds, outcomes, or applause. And that is true mental invincibility. From here, the path is clear. All that remains is to gather these laws into one final truth and leave you with a choice that only you can make. Stoicism never promised you an easy life. It promised something far more valuable: strength. Strength to face discomfort without breaking. Strength to stay calm when life feels unfair. Strength to act with virtue, even when no one is watching. These principles are not philosophy for reading. They are tools for living. The world will not become softer, but you can become stronger, steadier, and unshakable. Practice these laws daily, not to impress anyone, not to seek approval, but to build a mind that cannot be conquered. Because when your strength comes from within, nothing outside of you can take it away.